Pokémon Go is a free-to-play game developed for iOS and Android platform, published by Niantic, a Google and Nintendo spin-off. On July 2016, the game has become viral after less than 10-day release. But aside from catching those little creatures on your smartphone, do you really understand the world of Pokémon? The term Pokémon is a contraction of Pocket Monster and used to refer to a whole franchise, which involves 7 generations of video games, anime series, films, manga, trading cards, as well as 721 fictional species that have been displayed throughout the franchise. According to Pokemon's executive director Satoshi Tajiri, the concept of Pokemon is pullulated since 1989, when the first generations of Game Boy made a debut. The general idea of Pokemon universe was derived from Tajiri's favorite childhood pastime, catching insects. Players referred as Pokemon trainers have 2 main objectives: capture different species of Pokemon to complete the Pokédex, and turn them into one mighty team, then compete with all trainers' team to ultimately win the Pokemon League. When catching a Pokemon, a special desired tool called Pokeball is used by throwing it at the desired creature. The Pokemon, if unable to escape, will be officially captured and added to your Pokédex. Only Pokemon shows their obedience to every command of their master and do not act on their own unless the trainer demonstrates a lack of experience as well as poor skills. Trainers can send their team to battle against our Pokemon. If your Pokemon defeats a wild creature, you have the chance to capture and add it to your Pokédex. However, if the beaten Pokemon already has an owner, your Pokemon will only gain experience points and may level up. The procedures of collecting, training, and battling Pokemon appears in almost every edition of the franchise.
Pokémon Go was released as a free app for iOS and Android on July 6, 2016. It's a partnership between Pokémon company Niantic and Niantic Labs. It was first released in the US and soon became the biggest mobile game in the US history.
Smash hit mobile game
what
app
exactly
Pokémon
is Pokémon Go? Basically, the overall concept of the game is that there are adorable creatures that we call Pokémon that inhabits the world. Somehow there is this definitely not suspicious professor that orders you to catch as many Pokemon as you possibly can, just so he can study them. To catch a Pokemon, you have to use these special capsules called Pokeballs that you can just toss at these creatures to capture them. When you successfully capture them, they are yours to keep. You can upgrade them, evolve them into stronger forms, and even battle head-on with other players and their Pokemons. Main difference between other versions of Pokemon game and Pokemon Go is the concept of augmented reality. Unlike other versions where you can just capture Pokemon with the use of your Game Boy or whatnot, you have to move in the real world in order for your character to move in the game. Throughout your experience, you'll encounter wild Pokemon of different rarities and variations, some of which are more common and easier to find than others. Not to mention, you will also come across something called Pokestop that is actually a landmark you can see in the real world. There, you can spin the stop and obtain items that can help you throughout your journey. Soon enough, you will also encounter something called a gym. A gym is basically a place where you can battle other players, train your Pokemon, and even take over for your team. Does that seem interesting to you? Well, it does to Americans, as only 24 hours after release, Pokemon Go skyrocketed to number 1 on the App Store list, setting a new record for being the fastest game to reach the number 1 most downloaded free app in the United States. It was already installed on more iOS and Android phones than Tinder. So seems like Americans are more interested in catching Pokemon than catching a date. It has almost as many daily active users as Twitter app, and Twitter has just hit its 10th anniversary a few months ago. Within 2 days of Pokémon Go release, it was already installed on approximately 5% of all Android devices in the United States. Nearly 2/3 of people who download it are using it every day. The app was reportedly being used on an average of 43 minutes and 23 seconds a day, which is a higher use time than WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, and Messenger. Within 5 days of Pokémon Go released, Nintendo saw the biggest one-day surge on the stock market since 1983. Nintendo stock has gone up over 75% in the week since the game launch, and it's estimated that the market value increased by $9 billion. Within 6 days of Pokémon Go US released, it attracted just under 21 daily active users, dethroning Candy Crush Saga's rumored peak, making it the biggest mobile game in the US history.
Not only the America does Pokémon Go viral, but this game also sweeps over the globe. European releases start on July 13th, and the game was available to most of the continent over the following 10 days. By July 15th, approximately 1.3 million people were playing the game in the Netherlands. In July 22nd, Pokémon Go was eventually home. This game will launch in Japan 2 days later than which were initially reported, causing frustration among people as they all long for the release of the game.
見てたら配信開始っていう記事を見て、あ、嘘インストールしなきゃと思った。みんなでインストールを一斉に。
なんかちょっと結構やっぱ歩かないといけないから面倒くさいかなっていうのはあります。まあでもなんかワクワクはしますね、やっぱりどんなのがいるのかなとか思いながら。
It is not surprising that on the day of the release, more than 10 million Japanese people downloaded the game, including 1.3 million the first 3 hours. In July 25th, French people could also share Pokemon catching experience, and not until August 6th that the Philippines and other Asian countries get access to this reality game. So far, there have been up to 100 countries in which Pokemon Go is accessible. Pokemon Go is now considered the most successful app ever, which needed to hit a minimum of $140 to $196 million turnover per month for Niantic. Its popularity has boomed with it overtaking Twitter, Snapchat, and other social media platforms. However, with any virtual reality game like Pokemon Go, controversy is inevitable. Due to interaction with the real world, security concerns have been raised. First, the risk of accidents and injuries can happen because users are too focused on the game. 2 men from California were injured while playing Pokémon Go when they fell off the cliff overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Apparently, the men broke through a fence to catch a Pokémon despite poster signs warning people that the cliffs they were climbing onto were unstable. 2 men were hurt during a fight around midnight near the soccer field at Desert Breeze Park. Police believe that it happened when a phone was stolen from someone playing Pokémon Go. Niantic has advised people to go out in groups whenever possible. Other criticisms include the app being used in locations such as cemeteries, memorials, and sites to catch Pokémon Go, namely the Auschwitz Museum, the United States Museum of the Holocaust, and the National September 11 Memorial and Museum. However, there has been praise on how the game has changed social and cultural interaction. For example, it encourages people to go out of their homes and explore their home city, meeting new people and getting fit at the same time. Additionally, the positive impact of Pokemon Go on stock markets should also be taken into consideration. Furthermore, business, particularly small business, leverage Pokemon to attract properly engaged and retail new customers. Restaurants, bars, coffee shops, and retailers across the world have reported increased traffic, sales, and revenue as a result of the game.
August 6, 2016, along with 14 other Asian and Oceania countries, Vietnam joined the Pokémon Go frenzy. Vietnam, where has been known for its obsessive smartphone users, is known to be one of the fastest growing smartphone market in Southeast Asia. Due to the robust growth of Vietnamese smartphone market, mobile games with at least 20 million Vietnamese gamers are flourishing as well. As a result, when Pokémon Go is released, thousands of Vietnamese citizens have been lured instantly into the phenomenon of virtual cartoon characters. At first, the game got pretty good feedbacks as it is reported to set off new small businesses. Many people who didn't have time to play it and boost their accounts could ask help from a Pokémon Go service called Pokémon Go Farmers. The chart prices vary depending on what levels users want to power up their accounts to, ranging from 3,000 Vietnam Dong for lower levels to 40,000 Vietnam Dong for higher ones. Some Vietnamese taxi driver quickly seized business opportunities from the fever, charging about 250,000 Dong for an hour of driving game players around to chase down digital creators. However, the news soon is occupied by various headlines reflecting the unsettling experience with the world-famous mobile game in Vietnam. People risk losing their mobile devices, backpacks and bags to snatchers as they venture deep into alleys and isolated areas in order to catch a Pokemon, especially when bag snatching is a rare incident in any big city of Vietnam. People were stopping in the middle of the road, risking their lives with their eyes stuck to their phones, or even causing traffic jams. In a country where half of the commuters' main transportation is two-wheel motorbike, the chance of involving into an accident while playing game of smartphone is relatively considerable. Police were also catching numerous people either playing the game while parking their vehicles in restricted areas or crashing motorbikes into one another while playing. Another behavior in need of being denounced is that in an attempt to cheat the system, a number of Vietnamese game addicts have been creating fake virtual public areas or changing their locations near their house by using Google Map Maker as to facilitate their hunts. For example, Maritime University in Hải Phòng has been moved to Ho Chi Minh City, while Ho Chi Minh City University of Agriculture and Forestry has been relocated to Binh Duong Province. A post which was reportedly written by an admin of Vietnam Google Map Makers named Lê Bách asked the gamers to stop adding changes and ruin Google Map, which has been a new food source helping our daily life. Finally, the Vietnamese government had enough. On the 17th of August, the Ministry of Communication and Information announced that the government could contact the software developer Pokémon Go and request them to remove Pokéstop from religious and historic sites and other sensitive locations. On the 18th of August, the Information and Communication Ministry released a statement saying that people should not play it near or inside the areas of office of Communist Party, the state, the military, and national defense sites, and other restricted areas. Eventually, after 2 months, Pokémon Go lost steam in Vietnam as Vietnamese youngsters lost their interest in the game for either feeling discouraged by other players using rampant cheating or getting bored of its simplicity. Pokémon Go, therefore, vanished from the list of most downloaded applications at Play Store of Android and App Store of iOS operating system. Nevertheless, it is said that maybe it's too soon for people to draw a conclusion that the interest in the phenomenal games has died altogether in Vietnam.